Hey, everybody. Welcome to the premiere episode of ProBROknow, the podcast. Three brothers, three opinions, and one topic. Today, how it all began. Let's dive in. Hey, everybody. So, because this is our very first podcast.
It is.
Yeah, I figured we should probably explain why we all got together to do this. And
You mean for the two people that are watching or listening right now?
Yes.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hello.
yeah, I think
Hopefully
so.
they got some neighbors over or something. So
And I'm pretty sure looking at all of us, I think you can probably tell that we're brothers. And seeing as how we said it's three brothers in the name of the podcast.
you're going to have to assume we're brothers.
Through the powers of deduction, we figured that out.
Thank
Yes.
you. I wasn't as quick there. But yeah, so I guess we should probably start by just introducing ourselves. I am the youngest of the three of us. My name is Spencer. To my right is my older brother,
That's right.
Chad.
Chad McCone. I'm the oldest, the wisest. Some might say the most handsome.
Yeah, well, we don't typically say that.
Some might.
But yeah, some.
I think I just threw up in my mouth. Sorry.
And then we have
Clearly
Wade.
we know who the middle child is.
Yes. The middle child, Wade.
That's me, the middle child.
How's it going, Wade?
I'm doing well, Spence. How you doing?
I'm good. This is interesting. You know what? I'm looking forward to what we're going to be talking about and sharing some of our stories as brothers and growing up. We've had a pretty unique experience. Very, very, very tight knit family. And I think some of those experiences created a lot of comedy growing up.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that we can share some of that with the audience of Mom and Dad. And hopefully some more people as we continue. But yeah, it's been a fun ride, and we just thought maybe we should share some of our experiences. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I appreciate that you guys agreed to do this. When I first came up with it, I wasn't really sure what we were going to do, what we were going to talk about. But I frankly find us to be friggin' hilarious sometimes.
You know, that is just like you, Chad, to take all the credit for setting this up. Typical.
Well,
Well, he is unemployed, so he did have the most
hey,
time.
it's called
That's right.
retired. It's
You're
not
retired.
unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad's word for unemployed.
Yeah, okay.
Retired.
This is where you can tell where the brothers come in.
Right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
No, I think it is good that you set this up. I think it's an awesome idea. I'm happy to be part of it.
Yeah, I'm happy you are part of it.
Yeah. Oh, gee, thanks, Chad.
And Spence, thank you to you for driving in from Burlington to do that.
Yeah, it was
Appreciate
a big drive down the 401. But yeah, it's I'm glad to be here. I know we did a couple test shots there from the house, but it wasn't the same dynamic, I don't think, unless we're both in the studio with each of you guys.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
So Spence is in Burlington. I'm in London. Chad's in London.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. We're close. We're lucky to be close to each other.
So what is the format going to be for our podcast? Are we just going to talk about life, or are we going to talk about, I guess, one topic?
Well, as I said in the intro, three brothers, three opinions, one topic. I think the point is, of talking about stuff that we find interesting to us and hopefully others will find interesting. I think also the world has been such a negative place Wade, I know you pointed that out to me before. There's just been so much negativity. How can we do something, positive and share some experiences, a little bit of humor?
Yeah, keep it light, keep it light.
Rib each other a little bit and just, share with the world the how fortunate we are as brothers and being a close-knit family and use that to inject that into some topics.
I think you just said the key word there, Chad, fortunate. Right? I think, I know so many families that they just, after so many years, they don't get along, or there's rifts in the family, there's drama. We don't really seem to have a lot of that. And I feel pretty fortunate that that's the case.
I mean, I think we don't because, you guys listen to me, which is great.
Well, it is your podcast. You made that quite clear,
right,
Chad. It's your podcast.
Is it pro Chadno or ProBROknow? I'm not quite sure.
Chad ProBro.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. No, of course, this is a group dynamic, right?
So listen, I think this is going to be a combination of storytelling, sharing our experiences, discussing topics that might be a little bit controversial or funny, getting other people's perspectives. It's going to be whatever it is.
Yeah. Sorry, Spence. Did you want to say something?
No, go ahead. It's your podcast. So
Yeah.
No, I was actually just thinking about growing up and all the crazy stuff that we went through as kids. It's pretty amazing that we actually got to this point safely.
Yes, that we didn't die along the way.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, this is our first podcast, so we should probably let people know. We grew up in a small town.
do we say the name of the small town?
Why not? We'll shout out to Ingersoll, Ontario.
Yeah.
Ingersoll, home of the cheese factory, right?
I don't know.
Wine and Cheese Factory.
And
Was it the wine and cheese? The wine and cheese parade.
Yeah, for sure.
They also had the coffin
Ingersoll.
factory. Do you remember the coffin factory?
There was an Ingersoll casket
a
company.
casket company.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
That was a big claim to fame, I guess. Cheese and death.
And then wine after the death.
Yes.
I believe
Or
that-
before.
I think they call it a coffin culture.
So yeah, we had a lot of cool experiences growing up, and we didn't grow up super rich. I think we were pretty modest in our upbringing.
That's
I
another
would
way of
even
saying.
say. I was going to
That's
say.
another way of saying poor.
I was going
Yes.
to say modest, most definitely. Super rich is quite a stretch.
Yeah.
Or unless you're referring to bologna sandwiches as
Well,
know.
it's funny you bring that up, Chad. Let's talk about what we had for dinner sometime. So we had, and let's be real here. Let's give credit where credit is due.
yes.
Our mother was very creative in how she fed us dinner. It wasn't fried bologna. They were sombreros.
Absolutely.
Because sombreros, the bologna would curl up on the end, making a little sombrero hat. So we had sombreros, and we'd be so excited to have sombreros, even though it was really fried bologna.
No, I'm not sure, but didn't they do that because didn't she make a slit in them and like form them into like the little, like make a slit in the side and then kind of toothpick it together? And isn't that what made it?
That was probably just on sale bologna that had a slit in it already.
It was just gone rancid. It was already curling in
Did
the
they cut the piece out that was moldy?
curling in the package.
It's like cheese, right? You just cut out the moldy part. It's all good.
Well, I know I was always on the milk duty. I was the powdered milk, skim
Yes.
milk guy.
You did
Somehow I
a
got-
fine job.
No,
mixing
it's-
up all the powdered milk.
It was 2 cups of powdered milk crystals with tap water that you
Yummy.
fill up and
Yummy.
delicious.
You know the best part? It was even skim milk powder. It wasn't even like
well, we couldn't afford the 2%
high fat
milk
content
powder.
skim milk powder. It
Yeah.
was skim milk powder.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the one thing from my childhood I really despised was that powdered milk because if you recall, we drank it at like
Room temperature.
room temperature.
Why was that?
Because we never. I
Because
think
you can't keep it in the fridge, I guess. It's just
Oh,
powder.
No, you can, but we were always out, right? So
I think it's because it was my job, and I was
You
clearly
sucked at it.
Yeah, I wasn't prepping ahead of time and making batches of powdered milk.
Freezing it for later.
sloughing off on the powdered milk duty.
Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, make milk, and I just quickly did it, and yeah, it was room temperature. I don't even know why didn't I run the water cold and then start making it.
I don't know. There's this thing called ice cubes.
I turned it on.
Didn't even use ice. You probably couldn't afford
I
ice.
didn't want to put ice, and I didn't want to water the milk down more than it was already watered
That's
down.
true.
Did we even have a freezer to put ice in? So
It was basically white water.
if you recall, though, we would jazz it up sometimes with chocolate powder, but we couldn't afford the quick chocolate powder. We had to have Ovaltine. Remember Ovaltine?
More crystals.
More crystals.
I think my mom was in the crystals.
she was into crystals.
Yeah.
I do remember actually that it was kind of crunchy or something. That like
Yeah,
am I
Ovaltine
right
was
that
like it was like,
like-
little diamond crystals of chocolatey, not
had
so
like-
goodness.
yeah, like crunchy bits in it that you would.
It wasn't
taste
quick, that's for sure.
No.
It
wasn't
didn't
the
really
syrup.
dissolve.
No.
No.
Sorry if you're still in business, Ovaltine. I do apologize.
We're definitely not sponsored by Ovaltine
No.
on this podcast.
We'd like to be sponsored by Quick, though. You just put that out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, our big thing was Kool-Aid, right? We loved our Kool-Aid.
We had a lot of Kool-Aid.
a lot of Kool-Aid,
Drink sugar water and powdered milk.
sugar water.
And somehow we're alive to talk about it.
Yes. Good times. Very good times.
So let's talk about breakfast, though. If you guys remember this,
puffed
remember Sugar Crisp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that cereal.
Okay.
But because we couldn't afford that, we had puffed wheat. But it wasn't like there's
was
nothing
no
on
name.
it.
It
It was
was no
just
name brand.
it was cardboard. It was like packing peanuts of styrofoam.
Is that packing peanuts?
Yeah, it's like packing peanuts of styrofoam. They back up this big truck.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep of the wheat puffs, and that bag never went down.
Yeah,
It's true.
we had an 800-pound bag. It was like Costco back in the day when Costco didn't exist.
It was just Costco wheat puffs.
It seriously was a dump truck of wheat puffs. It never got empty.
Even Costco would have said like that's too big of a bag of wheat puffs.
You can't fit it in the Costco store.
Honestly, it was ridiculous.
And Mom and Dad would say, you got to finish the wheat puffs before we can get anything else. But it never went down. I'd even put sugar on it to try to make it into Sugar Crisp, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, it definitely was not.
Well, the good news is Mom only had to do groceries like once every 6 months because the bag was just constantly
I think
full.
we still have a bag of puffs.
I'm pretty sure that we used it to pack our clothes.
Yeah, we did.
When we moved out of the house.
We did.
It was like the peanuts. You just put it in there just to keep things from breaking.
Packing peanuts. Yes, we used that to move out of the house.
Yeah, that was pretty traumatic.
But here's what I can say though. Like I know we had an eclectic childhood for sure.
But eclectic, is that a way of saying poor?
That's the word for today.
Okay.
But I think, one thing I think we can all attest to is, we had parents or specifically a mother that had a crazy imagination.
Yeah.
And she turned any outing became an adventure. And do you want to spy on Mother Nature? Right. Yeah. I remember I used to love going to spy on Mother Nature, running out in the rain. And that was like a big production that our mom did for us. And so even though we really had nothing and, picnics were a big outing. And
oh, geez.
I know where this,
yeah, exactly.
I know where this is going.
I mean, it's very innovative when you take your children and your husband out to the front of the drive-in and pull out a blanket and say, let's have a picnic.
Yeah.
Right at the entrance to the 401 drive-in.
Yes.
Just so everyone could see, how poor we were. We made sure we were front and center on the strip of grass there having a picnic, which
that's not embarrassing at all. No.
Well, we were in the car. We refused to get out, if I remember.
We were hiding under the blankets in the back seat.
And I think I still remember, Dad looking over at us like, he clearly did not want to be on that picnic blanket. He wanted to be in the car with us. And but yeah, it was stuff like that. I think that just it's the memories, right? And I think it just goes to show that life is about experiences and doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. It's just about back then it was all about togetherness, and if we could do something as a family, we did it, and we made every moment in life was an adventure for us. And so I definitely appreciate that.
Well, Dad was equally creative. He was quite the chef when you think about it. He used to make creamed salmon on toast.
Oh, I thought that was Mom that used to make that.
Oh no, Dad made creamed salmon on toast.
That was his big big go-to dish.
Yeah, but then for a change, we would have creamed salmon on rice, and then sometimes creamed tuna on toast or rice.
I don't remember the tuna. I remember the salmon.
Really salmon.
Yeah, I don't remember tuna on toast.
Yeah, and frozen peas to go with it. I mean, when you had peas on the side, that was
someone's
luxury.
Birthday. That was someone's birthday when there was peas.
I thought the birthdays were cold plates of lettuce and tomato. I thought that was and little rolled up pieces of ham. Wasn't that the birthday dinner?
Those were snacky lunches, Wade.
Those were snacky lunches. Snackables.
I don't recall a whole lot about the food, but this is sort of off topic, but I was just remembering about all the monarch butterflies
in the house.
In the house, yeah. So you remember Mom, she would go out and we would actually all go out and we would get the nets out and we would catch all these butterflies, and then she would set up all the sugar dishes in the little that little room off the family room there with all the plants.
Oh, here's a question. Why did the monarchs get sugar water and we got powdered milk?
You guys never drank the sugar water?
Off the plate?
Oh, yeah.
You walk in, Spence is licking the plate clean.
I thought that was like, go find the sugar water. It was like a game.
Spy on Mother Nature. Go find the sugar water. Yeah, Mom fed the monarchs better food than we got. You think about it.
It's interesting why they only, as I recall, they only lived for like a few days and then they would die and then we'd have to go catch more.
So we were killing the monarchs.
Basically, we were decimating the entire monarch population in Ingersoll.
But for a couple of days, we had some pure joy.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So monarchs, you remember monarchs, eh?
I do.
Huh.
I mean, that just stands.
Well, what do you remember, Wade? What's your biggest memory?
Oh, I can't even think of just one. Probably sailing as a family.
Love that.
Yeah, Long Point Bay Sailing Club.
You loved getting yelled at?
Yeah, dad was a Navy. Dad's a Navy guy, so he kind of went into Navy mode on the boat.
He did. Well, he wanted things done a certain way, and he was trying to teach us, though, the proper way to sail. Unfortunately, it was with a little bit of anger.
A lovely anger, though,
Yes,
really.
in a loving kind of way.
Yes. The sailing story I remember the most is, it's not really a great story, I guess, but we got into a storm.
Oh yeah, Lake
in Long Point Bay.
Lighthouse. Yeah.
Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Well, Lake Erie, right? And we in the inner bay. And we got into a major storm, and we were all throwing up over the side, trying to get back to Port Dover to get out of the storm. And I just remember all of us being sick and Dad trying to be brave and not show any fear that we were going to be dying anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, you say all of us, but as I recall, you guys were up. Well, Dad and Mom, I know, were puking over the side.
Oh, we were too.
And I was downstairs in the cabin making sandwiches. I was the only
You
one.
were hungry?
I was the only one eating, and I just wasn't getting sick, and everybody else was tossing because we had these huge swells.
You weren't getting sick?
No, I didn't get sick.
You were down making powdered milk, weren't you?
All I know is I was trying to hoist the sail, but I wasn't doing it properly.
Really? I feel like we were under motor, or where Dad had to put the motor on because it was just too windy.
Yeah.
Too windy to do the sail, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. I just have a lot of fond memories of just lying on the bow of the boat with the sun on your face and the wind, and just enjoying the relaxation with family. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a day on the boat definitely felt like a weekend for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How did we afford a boat?
I don't know.
Because we drank
all the money
milk.
we saved from not buying groceries and just having powdered milk.
When your food budget is baloney,
and you can afford a boat on sale. You can buy pretty much whatever you want.
When you get it on the day where it says on special, eat before today. That's when you know it's cheap, right? Mm-hmm. Best before consumed in the next 3 hours, then you can afford a boat.
Well, one thing for sure is that all of the funny bits aside, we were just so blessed. We had to grow up. We had 3 brothers that we all cared and loved it for each other, and
the most part,
other than the middle child.
Whoa.
But just to have that dynamic, to have 2 parents that were involved, that really wanted to show you the best time that they could, even though there really wasn't a lot of money to do those things, and to just go out of our way to be creative, as you said, Spence, and to just show us a life that we were just so lucky to have.
So if we can just backpedal there for a second, when you talked about, growing up and loving our brothers, and but I have a different recollection of how you used to love me. Yeah. It seemed more like, hey, let me beat up my younger brother. And it was so like you bring your friends over. It was like a game. It used to be funny to you guys.
Well, I can think of one example of love between you and I, because I remember you loved hitting me in the back with a stool.
Yeah. Because I was sick and tired of getting beat up, when I got home from school. So I learned really quickly that I need to fight for my life if I want to stay alive in this household.
You took a weapon and hit your older brother with it, as I recall.
I think that's when the beating stopped, actually. So I would say, well done on my part.
But listen, it just made you more resilient, buddy. We helped make you the success that you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really because of us that you are successful.
Mm-hmm. I guess I should be thanking you.
You should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the punches in the stomach.
Give this to your brother.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, well, thank you, Chad. I guess.
Didn't you guys have a scrap one time in the driveway in the car, like inside the car? And the car rolled down the driveway?
Well, we did. That we were a little bit older at that time, though, mind you.
It was last week?
In the Ingersoll days. I mean, that was when we were living in London.
In London,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know what we were fighting about. I think we were all sharing a car at that time, as I recall, weren't we, Spence?
Mm-hmm. And, no, because it wasn't in the Honda. We shared a Honda Civic.
No, it was the Honda.
It was, yeah.
You guys were in the Honda when you fought?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the Honda Civic, and I don't know.
The silver one. The newer one, not the red one.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the hatchback. Yeah.
I think we were arguing because we both used to drive each other to work because we were all sharing the car, and I think we were arguing about who's going to drive or something.
No, I think it was my day for the car, and then you basically said, "No, it's going to be my day." And you thought,
did he say it just like that?
Yeah, that was
going to be my day.
You've heard Chad talk when he wants the car, but that's what he sounds like. And he was trying to assert his will that it was going to be his time to drive the car. Well, was I not in the driver's seat? I think it was, and you were trying to reach over to get the keys or something.
I think I was trying to take the keys out of the car, and you
because I was trying to leave.
Yeah, you literally put it in reverse.
No, you were leaning
you put-
over
oh, sorry,
trying
you
to hit
knocked
me
it. Yeah.
probably again. And I think you knocked it was one of those center
Yeah, it
gear
was.
shift things.
Yeah.
And I think you knocked it out of gear, out of park.
I think you're right.
And then the car just started rolling down this
Yeah,
long driveway.
and that driveway was steep. Like it starts going down the driveway, and Wade. I mean, I know you weren't there for that, but I mean, literally, the thing just started burning down the driveway, and then across the street,
up on the neighbor's lawn,
up onto through their driveway, and up onto their lawn.
Thank God they didn't have a car in their driveway.
And we're in there just pummeling each other,
oblivious,
completely oblivious. Yeah, we could have been like heading into oncoming traffic. And again, lucky to be alive, right? Here we are.
And I think we just like put the car into gear and just drove it back up into our driveway. Didn't even say anything to the neighbor. They're probably wondering, like, why are these, tire tracks on my front lawn? But we just pretended like it never happened.
Yeah, but on the whole, though, I mean, there was times when
why did your voice get really high there?
I don't know.
I know.
There was times when Wade and I would maybe gang up on you a little bit, and I mean, I can recall times, Wade, when you and Spence, were ganging up on me too.
Oh, I think you and Spence
don't
ganged up
think
on
so.
me.
Oh, I don't.
Do you remember
so.
you and I ganging up on Chad Wade? I don't
Not
remember
so much.
that.
No, that's why it's his podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, it's this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how bad your memory is there.
Well, I don't think I've got a bad memory. I think I just see things the way they happened. Right. So.
Okay.
Regardless of all of that, here we sit, still together, still having laughs.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
And you know what? All those memories, even though there was some fights and things that happened, really made us, who we are today, and grow to love and appreciate each other for our differences. And you guys have a lot of differences.
Well, yes, you are different, Chad. That is for sure. Yeah. I think about the fact, though, that our parents are still alive. They're still with us.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate.
Yeah. Knock wood.
Yeah. This isn't wood, though, right?
Oh,
yeah.
it's MDF.
Knock MDF.
Yeah.
They're still with us. We're very fortunate. And it's pretty special what we have.
It is. And that's what brought us to the podcast, ultimately.
And hopefully that's what everyone is about to find out, is just how unique this relationship is and the bond of brothers. I love you, man.
Wow.
I promise I wasn't going to do this.
Pass me a Kleenex.
Hey, that's not that kind of a show, Jack.
If we really get honest here, let's talk about the middle child syndrome, because
let's move on to something more interesting than that, Wade.
see, once again, the middle child loses out.
Honestly, Wade, we only made fun of you because you were 69 pounds until you were 16.
It's because he wasn't getting any calcium, for crying out loud.
When you're raised on bologna and powdered milk, you don't get a lot of protein.
You didn't
right?
have a chance to build your muscles.
It wasn't called powdered milk protein powder. It was just powdered milk.
Well, whatever the case, I'm very thankful that it is what it is. I'm glad we're doing the podcast together, and I can't wait for all the exciting topics to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We've got some exciting content.
Join us for the
way.
ride.
Yeah.
It's going to be an awesome ride.
Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
Hang on and let's talk the walk.
Talk the walk.
Or walk the talk.
What does that mean? Talk the walk.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, we say dive in. I figured I'd say walk the talk. Or talk the walk.
What is talk the walk?
Oh, we're talking about our walk, our journey.
Yeah, we're talking about our actions that we've taken over our lifetime.
Can I agree to love that idea for 10 minutes?
For 10 whole minutes?
Yeah, well,
That's unlike you.
Gotta
I
give it
appreciate the support,
due
Jeff.
process.
It's good.
Anyways, guys, I think that we've sort of wrapped it up. We've summed up why we're here, what we're doing,
Yeah.
what we're going to share with everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, and we'll see everyone next week.
Yeah, till next time.
See you on ProBROknow.